Hello, ladies and gentlemen of the internet and of YouTube, and welcome back to Final Fantasy Chronicles of Eno. I am your host and game master, as always, Skajarmas, otherwise known as Toneshift, and with me today, we have our fully restored cast of players. We have Hades Shadow 92 playing Thanatos, our male human Dark Knight.
The Burb returns.
Yes, and speaking of the Burb, we have Lumina Starlight, finally returned after many months away, playing Rocket, our female cyborg chocobo warrior.
Suck it, YouTube copyright there.
I don't know what the context behind that shout-out is, but alright. Next, we have Darkness playing Alistair, our male human paladin.
We're back with an extra kicker.
There we are. And last, but certainly not least, we have Tom117Z playing Neothil, our female Elvon Ranger.
Does Althea have a spine we can break?
Rocket will find
Probably
it.
we should.
I don't know. But, and of course, just so everyone is up to speed, I will be controlling the NPC party member Mika Solwyn, our female Mithra Red Mage. So, now that everyone is here, let's jump right in, shall we? Where we last left off, our intrepid band of adventurers had sallied back to the south after procuring one of the second and final of Shiva's ice crystals up on the northern glacier, stopping briefly in the Academy city of Enomo to continue with repairs after the horrible assault led on it by a horde of demons helmed by Saran. After that conflict was... After their time there was done and the Little Wing was repaired, they continued their way to the south, towards the Hellfire Pit, in the hopes of meeting with Ifrit and claiming the crystals of fire, one from him and one from the last of the Itsukaro tribe, a peddler of stories named Velmarak. However, upon their arrival over the canyons of Athakor that surround the Hellfire Pit, they found themselves under attack from the Hellfire Pit itself, as colossal balls of fire just flew out of it like blasts from a cannon to slam into the Little Wing, forcing it to descend into the canyons for its own safety, eventually coming to a landing out of the blasting range of the volcano, or rather covered from it, within the canyons at the volcano's base. There was a dangerous encounter with a gargantuan sandworm, at the beginning of which Kyra Nightstar's spine was broken as she was hurled against one of the walls of stone that enclosed these narrow labyrinthian passageways. A brutal conflict ensued, at the close of which the sandworm lay dead and Kyra lay crippled. The party sequestered her away in the medical room of the Little Wing, and Caius volunteered to stay behind to stand watch, thus, for the foreseeable future, depriving Thanatos of his ability to call upon the power of his dark side, but ensuring Kyra won't be accosted any further, and that the Little Wing will be protected. Immediately after that decision was made, the party reconvened with Velmarak and heard that the Stargazer that had come here ahead of them had also been attacked by by fireballs from the Hellfire Pit, and had taken shelter somewhere in the canyons that Velmarak had yet to find. Together, they teamed up and began to make their way for the volcano proper in the hopes of getting inside, finding Ifrit, and figuring out what the hell is going on. And after a short time traveling, they came upon the corpse of the sandworm that should, by rights, have been loitering near the Little Wing, before it burst open in flames and an entire conspiracy of dead fire ravens flew out, joined shortly by the elemental archfiend of fire, Zaltea, who the party had thought they had slain in the past, but as it so happens, is quite capable of reviving herself so long as a single spark remains. As the party was gearing up to face off against Zaltea and the small army of creatures at her beck and call, a surprise whinny of a horse sounded in the distance, and the clunking of a metallic leg on stone, before who should appear at the top of a nearby cliff but Rocket, slightly crispier than the party remembered. She called out, and not only did Ixion, the steed of Odin, emerge, but so too did Odin himself, the god of earth and the wandering vanguard of the divines himself, ready to aid the party in battle against Zaltea. And it is upon that note, ladies and gentlemen, that if I can find the music that goes with this sequence, there it is, that we shall come in. So,
Lumina still isn't in the roll 20.
all right, and there's the turn order. All right, so, as is usually the case, party goes first, then NPC allies, and then enemies, and then repeat. So, by thy leave.
Alright, onwards. Thanatos. Hey, there's the rocket.
There she is.
The Lumina has returned.
At long last.
Any shiny toys you want to share that we don't know about?
You know what? Actually, that seems fitting. Why don't we let her go first? She's been gone long enough.
Yes.
Yeah? What?
Means I have to look up stuff.
Yeah. You got cool shit you can do.
Let's see, power times 5 plus 2d6. Of course, I gotta roll accuracy first, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
What are you doing? Just a typical attack.
And which one are you attacking? Because we've got quite an army to deal with.
Well, it depends on which one I'm close enough to actually get to.
I mean, if you fly,
Why the
if you
D20?
fly-
You have to roll a d20 for accuracy, don't you?
It's a 2d6 system now. D6s are the only dice we use here, so you would use 2d6 and add your accuracy score.
You forget that it's been a while.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
It's been
yeah,
9.
okay.
It's been 9 months.
I sometimes need to catch myself as well because I play another tabletop that uses a D100 system. So,
All right, and did you remember to do the plus to add your accuracy to that?
No.
Hmm.
I'm not a
just
fan of
add
math.
the accuracy.
9. So it would add 9 to that, so it'd be 19.
Jesus.
well,
Yeah, you definitely.
9 accuracy.
Wow.
All right.
Return of
So,
rockets.
you are here. That means that with a standard movement action and the fact that, you can just fly, you can get to one of those 2 ravens.
Okay, I'm gonna have to close out my character sheet to actually see what I'm doing.
You can double-click on the bar at the top to minimize it down to a small bar that you can move around, and then you can double-click it again to pull it back up.
You said one of those 2 ravens?
Yeah,
Yeah,
this
the first
one
one.
or this one. Because you are here.
Go for this one.
All right, so, and you rolled a 19 to hit, you said.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, their avoidance is 12, so... So,
rocket.
That's what he's doing. Bye-bye.
so,
Rocket literally needs a critical fail to miss.
so, go ahead and tell me which element you would like to use for damage here. Because you have access to holy and fire, but you have to pick one or the other.
Let's do holy.
Okay.
I was about to say these things
Be
are
wise.
fire, so fire.
Yeah, Zoltea itself is essentially a cheap knockoff of Phoenix that Diablo has created.
Trust me. Rocket knows. They've met.
Oh,
Wait, what? It met?
Okay, so power is 12. What? 12 times 5. Would I really roll 12? What?
Yeah, it would be 12 multiplied by 5, and then you would just roll 2d6 and add on to that.
I mean, if you think
we
that's a
don't
lot,
put calculator.
my damage is dex times 4 or 5, and my dex is currently 22.
So yeah, for you,
I've never been a fan of math.
it's fine. I just have a calculator up. So it would be 60 plus
So that'd be
2d6
60.
damage.
60
Ouch.
plus 2d... How much?
6. 2d6.
6.
Mm-hmm. That's a lot of damage. Especially if they're weak to holy.
So, wait, Rocket has access to Holy for just her regular attack?
It's one of her weapon properties. She has Elemental Strike Fire and Elemental Strike Holy, so on an attack she can pick which one to use.
Useful when fighting demons.
Indeed.
There you go.
Alrighty, let's see here. So, 67?
Yeah.
Alright. These things got pretty chunky armor, as it so happens, so that winds up coming down to 27 damage, but that's still a nifty hit. So, for her first action, rejoining the party, you all watch as Rocket gives her wings this little flutter and kicks off from the top of the cliff she came to. Jumps across this gap, lands next to one of the dead fire ravens, as it turns to her with a sort of... She gives this sort of sweeping roundhouse kick to the side of its head with her mechanical leg, causing it to sort of slide back. She assumes the position it had.
That's a holy tank hit.
Good to have you back, Rocket. Bartos. Rainstorm.
Yeah. And 150 MP, which is, my god, that's a lot. Power times 7. So this a bit 17 times 7. 119. This shall be water damage, and it's a group thing, so it hits everything.
That it does. I'm also going to go ahead and swap us to a boss music playlist now. So, oof, 124. Yeesh. Okay, let's see here. Alright, so after all armor calculations are applied, you discern these things take 50% extra from ice and water, at least for the dead fire ravens, which means each of them take 81 points of damage.
So they have stupidly high magic armor too.
I mean, they're level 12.
I mean, they have to have low HP. You wouldn't throw this many at us if they weren't frail.
I mean, there's a reason I gave you a god and his steed.
I mean, fair enough. Also, the spell turns everything into a water elemental field now.
That it does. I'll be sure to mark that here in a second, but for the moment, I am having to apply a lot of numbers because there are a lot of these fucking things.
Well, you threw a whole bunch at us.
Yes, I know. I have no one to blame but myself. It's just gonna take a bit.
I'm still.
Like I said, Fiery Ultron.
I s-
Never get rid of them till you basically destroy every copy.
I
And
still.
also then, according to What If, you have other universes then invading. Ultron. Even worse Ultrons.
You know,
I'm
by
just
the time
waiting.
by the time this episode comes out, that is going to be old news for the MCU.
Extremely.
Yeah.
All right, and now I need to figure out how much damage that does to Zaltea, because she's a bit of a different beast entirely.
Yeah.
Just tell me she takes double from water.
Last time we just shot her with a little wing.
Well, we did some damage before she decided to fly off like a bitch.
Yeah.
We got.
All right, so Zaltea takes more damage from water because she is made entirely out of flames. So that amounts to, for Zaltea, 148 points of damage. All right, so now that I've done a colossal amount of number crunching, you all watch as Thanatos sort of moves forward just a little bit to get into a more central position, his scythe swirling with energy, this sort of weirdly darkish blue. He gives it a few spins to bring it up and brings it down into the middle, like right at his feet, and this pulse of watery blue light expands outwards as the sky darkens for a moment with storm clouds. And this just wave of water, like a tsunami, explodes out from him, striking every single enemy you see, but watching harmlessly over the rest of you. It's quite an impressive sight, and Rocket, you kind of catch sight of him and quirk a brow, because, like, what the hell has he been doing to be able to suddenly do that? It is quite an advancement in his ability. And now I will go ahead and mark a thing here.
Am I good to go?
Yeah, go ahead and start doing your thing.
I'm gonna use Barrage
With water arrows.
and Fiend Killer.
Jesus, this number's
My
gonna be
what?
huge.
My once per day
Oh,
all water damage plus 2 damage steps. Huh. Okay, so this is going to be times 6.
Yeah,
I need to.
the numbers get big.
This is why we have time to do this
Makes
first.
sense.
Here's the thing. That is a thing I don't think my family group has fully grasped yet, just how big the numbers get in this game.
Should be. So, yeah, Barrage, full damage once per day on everyone, so 2d6 plus my damage is. It's going to be a plus 132.
Oh dear.
Ooshki.
Jesus.
138, that's double from Fiend Killer.
And then
Well,
more.
after the calculate the armor.
Yeah.
And then 50% extra for the Ravens and twice for Zaltea.
Yeah, the fire fiend's gonna be mega ouchy.
Okay.
And then I'm a stab one. I can do that.
Be right back.
Okay. As it is, you're not actually in range to stab any of them right now, Tom. The ones that are sort of perched on the blackenings are considered a full movement action up from you, and so yeah, unfortunately, you are not in melee range of any of them, so you can't use your dagger. But as it is, so all of the Deadfire Ravens, they take 294 points of damage.
Hey, I'm gonna move here.
And how many of them are dead?
None of them.
Surely this one must
Damn.
be.
No.
God damn it!
None of them are dead.
Yeah. Yet.
They are all in pain, though.
Good. Feel my knee.
Feel my knee.
Feel my knee.
Feel
And
my
don't
knee.
shoot it with an arrow. I kind of need it to keep adventuring.
Ugh.
That joke will never die.
There.
I love how the dungeon boss theme is playing now.
We're just on a random rotation as far as the music is concerned.
Yeah, that was my once per day ability gone. If I want to do that again, I need to use Destiny points for a limit break. Though if I did the Bolt Storm limit break, I would be doing times 8. 'Cause there's an extra 2 steps.
But it
Well-
wouldn't have been water, so. Damn. Okay, now I need to figure out what that did to Zaltea. Because Jesus fucking Christ.
Do you regret putting this many ravens at us now?
A little bit, perhaps.
Or you
Don't
knew
worry,
we were
I'll kill them soon.
Well, again, we don't know how much health they have.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so, so Zaltea takes 312 points of damage from that.
Haha.
Jesus. All right, so after the tsunami of energy radiates outwards from Thanatos, Neothil also sort of steps forward a little bit, sort of essential as she can get on such short notice, lifts her crossbow up and fires off a shot that for a second pulses with its own form of blue energy before scattering outwards like a sonic boom almost, and just a dozen different blue-tinted arrows come raining down onto the battlefield, seemingly amplified by the power of Thanatos' tsunami from a second ago, raining down on all targets and just filling the air with this cacophonous as it sounds like water is just swirling all over the place.
Question: do you have a stat sheet for Leviathan?
I have a stat sheet for all 3 of the deities you are currently capable of summoning.
I'm saying it's not currently in the journal.
Because Mika's the only one who can access Leviathan.
I mean, I don't know if we particularly want. We've already got Odin and Ixion.
I just wanted to check what abilities it could do. Because I mean, I'm not saying we should do it for this, but we might end up doing it for Ifrit. Yeah. So yeah, we can summon deities. We can currently summon. Leviathan, Ramu,
and Shiva.
Shiva.
Which makes sense though, because god of water.
Can we also see Shiva's stat sheet then?
Alistair has access to that one.
That would be a lot of water damage.
Indeed. So when we get to Ifrit, that will.
But yeah, for now we already have a god, but
yeah,
we have a god and a steed of a god. I still would just find it hilarious if Odin just did his big super attack and just killed all of them.
Well, he ain't gonna go blowing destiny points on that. Anyways, Alistair, what are you up to?
Didn't you upgrade Dia?
Yes.
Starters, I'm seeing if I.
You've gotten it. You've already moved as far as you can. You can't move any further than where you are.
Yeah.
Diaga.
Which is why I'm seeing if I could shoot Diaga.
Well, Diaga is a group spell, so you don't need to be within a certain range.
Yeah,
it hits everything.
It hits them all again. More Daka.
Do it.
We need more Daka.
Do it.
What the hell is Daka?
Don't ask.
I
It's
asked.
what the orcs like to use.
Don't.
It's essentially like a rifle combined with all kinds of anything they could get.
Long story short, it means fire all the bullets, more bullets. We need more bullets.
Gotcha.
Fire the magic. We need.
Understood.
To the point of severe overkill.
That's a good point.
Yes.
I could hit.
You can hit all of them.
Okay, dokie.
Diaga costs 80 MP, but it does power times 7 plus 2d6 holy damage to all enemies.
Dude.
But I'm just checking that it's not like the one where it minuses the damage by hitting multiple targets, or would it be the same amount?
It's the same amount. It's only a group spell.
Excelente.
Yeah,
then I shall cast.
All right.
The Diaga.
And that's 80 of my
Yep.
MP gone. I just do that now, or you already done it?
I did.
Has it already been done?
No.
Okay,
That's left over from your previous fight while you're 8 MPs like that.
done.
All right. So 2d6 plus 84.
Here comes some holy damage.
All right. So. Give me a moment here. As you discover at this point, the dead fire ravens don't in fact actually have an elemental reaction to holy, so they just take the flat damage there.
They don't take. What? Dead fire
Stone
ravens.
and a little bit
They're
fire.
they're strictly speaking arcane elemental creatures. They're not strictly speaking demonic themselves.
And what
Okay, well, it still
about
hit-
the main
well, it still-
boss?
Well,
It'll
still hit Saltea. She's a demon.
Yeah, it'll definitely hurt Zaltea more than it hurts the Ravens, but that is as it
Then
is.
I succeeded my mission.
Yeah, as it is, it will hit everything for some damage, but not a whole lot. But Zaltea will definitely take more once I get to her.
Chip a little bit of damage, shall we?
Indeed.
So I'm gonna go around
Also, I
the whole
hope
map
Mika
again.
moves up so I can cover her.
I mean, you can do that as
Also-
an instant action.
Also, Mika doesn't
Exactly.
have any. Like, she got a cure. Like, she got Curage with her last level up, right?
Yeah.
So she didn't.
Does she have any group damage ice spells, or is it just single?
I mean, she can use Blizzara, but that's pretty weak at this point relative to what you guys are fighting. Like, she's very rapidly hitting her power cap, and the drawback of being a red mage is catching up to her. They hit their power ceiling far before everyone else does, and it becomes a very big hindrance.
Never fear, I shall protect her in the name of the Nair.
In the name of the Nair, of the knight that says Nair and is named Nair.
Did not use my name in vain.
In the name of the Nair.
In the name
No
of the
promises,
Nair.
I'm a paladin.
Zaltea, however, will definitely take far more damage from this.
Being a fiend and all.
How
Yes.
much? Let's see.
It comes out to a total of 78 after her magic armor calculations.
Oof. Okay, still did some impressive damage.
All right. So then, with that,
Mika.
yep,
It's up to you, Mika. And then we also get to the other characters.
I
All
just
right.
want-
since Mika's damage output is kind of pathetic on when it comes to dealing with
Groups.
right now, she's just going to focus on a single target, and she is going to use Blizzara on the same target that Rocket is fighting. So that'll cost her 20 MP, and it'll be her mind times 5 plus 2d6.
I don't think I'd be in range to cover her this turn, but hey, at least she's doing some damage.
I mean, you're off the medium range away. So I think
Yeah,
you are.
you are within range to do that.
Oh,
So do it.
I just yeet myself there. Yay!
Yeah, you'll go and you'll give her cover if she gets attacked. So,
Indeed.
all right, let me just double check these suckers' elemental reactions.
I also like it we almost form like a triangle formation.
Well, considering we're surrounded, that's to be expected.
Kind of reminds me of the 300. Hold!
Well, let's hope we don't end the same way as 300.
I mean, considering.
Oh yeah, definitely
I
not.
mean, considering apparently all these enemies tend to be are level 12, and they're all probably normal enemies at this point.
Besides, blocking out the sun with arrows is my job.
All right,
I mean,
so
'cause-
These arrows.
All right,
dark
so
in the sun.
to round out the party's actions for the turn, Alistair comes forward, points his staff upwards, and this pearl of light shoots up into the sky before flashing brightly like a miniature sun, and these prismatic, pale blue and greenish beams of light race across the battlefield like laser beams almost, dancing across all of your enemies in rapid succession, and you can hear them squawking and shrieking in pain as like smoke starts to rise from their flesh. And Zaltea gives off this frustrated and in response and following up on that, Mika will capitalize on the blinding glare to step up next to Nee with her book open, slap a hand on it, and launch a javelin of ice from it to stab into the raven that Rocket is engaged with. It's still alive, but it hurts. And now it is to
Yep.
the allies.
Indeed. And it looks like Miss Fiend of Fire can't handle the heat anymore.
Shut the fuck up.
All right, Lord Odin, what shall he do?
Well, Ixion's gonna go first. So you all watch as Ixion leaps from one cliff to the other in one graceful movement, comes to a landing next to one of the dead fire ravens that turns to look at him in surprise, and Ixion just sort of quirks his head to the side. Hi there! and then proceeds to slash it with his horn. So he gets to roll.
I did not. I don't know. I didn't.
Oh, no.
That voice.
Oh shit! No.
Ixion, you're supposed to be badass.
Okay, so
This is not his finest moment.
you know, it's surprisingly on brand for how he's portrayed in this setting.
Right. Just about that voice.
I'm kind of taking notes from what Black Moon Prophecy 2 did with him, where he very much doesn't seem to match what you would expect. Rocket is
Did
already.
Odin prefer his old horse?
That is a very complicated can of worms I can't get into right now. Lumina's the one who's supposed to be privy to that, but we'll get into that later. So, Ixion lifts up his horn to try and slash at this raven, but it's like, no, I've been hurt too much today, and just quickly darts up and pecks him in the chin, and he's like, ah! And just slides down the slope and crashes down here somewhere.
That's Ixion.
In response, Odin just sort of walks over here, looks down at Ixion. Focus. Yeah, boss.
He sounds like Caius.
Yeah,
Right.
I only have so many voices I can do, all right?
Which would make Thanatos Ixion, of course.
Excuse you.
Well, Odin is going to turn to this dead fire raven over here. He's going to lift up his free hand, and in it there's this crackle of pinkish purple light, and this long ethereal lance just appears with this crackle of energy, and he is going to hurl it at that raven.
So wait, he can chuck spears? 11. Damn.
I mean,
I
he's
expected
considered a
less.
level 12. I mean, he's considered a level 12 creature, and boss power level, and he's a unique category called God that draws all of the highest stats from across the entire bestiary. So, yeah, gods are kind of gods are tough.
I'm surprised he's just level 12.
This is because his power is divided among his weapons and armor, so he can't call on all of his power at once. Either way, I don't even need to check the bird's stuff, because that definitely hits.
And does it kill?
It's magic armor based. So that is
Jesus.
157 points of damage. So,
220?
alright, so you watch as Odin leans back with the spear and chucks it, and it just peels through the air. You see, like, space itself distorting around this lance. And when it hits the raven, it lets out this and just vaporizes. It gone.
That's one gone. Now we only have how many to go?
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
Joy.
All right, and then let's see here. And since that was classified as a standard attack for him, that's one of his standard attacks, Odin then turns and gives this little sideways swipe of his sword, and the very ground begins to reform and reshape, and a ramp just builds itself into the mesa that the dead fire raven next to the one he just killed is standing on, permitting anyone who wishes to make the climb up and engage it in melee.
The god of earth, people.
Yep, he can reshape the terrain howsoever he wishes. Vilmarak will nod up at Odin and take him up on that. And he will attack it with his Kolpesh.
Kopesh.
Yep, his sword.
For he is a warrior that has MP.
This one I do need to double check these things avoidance, because it's possible that it did. Nope, he just hits.
The dice are being very finicky today.
139 points of damage. Well, it's not dead, but it wishes it was. As Velmarak charges up that ramp, and with this almost alligator-like hissing war cry, he brings his sword across its back as it's sort of turning to face you all. There's a spray of feathers and ashen blood. It leans back a bit and turns back to him. And now it is to the enemies.
That's going to be a lot of rolls you need to do.
Yes. Yes, it is. It is about this point that I'm going to change it to more ominous music because things are probably about to get problematic.
Because again, you're throwing 15 enemies at us.
I'm giving you guys an appropriate challenge for having a god in your party.
Can't he just smite them all?
Here comes the flock of birds of doom.
He'll do that if he has to, but he'd rather not waste the destiny points. Alright, so we shall begin with the Deadfire Raven that is currently engaging a rocket. Lumina, you back?
Yeah, I'm back. I've been back.
Okay, you've just been quiet.
Going to hurt. Lucky I have the reset button.
Alright,
In
the
case.
Deadfire Raven in front of you, which has taken a lot of hits, is going to make a peck at you.
Okay.
Tell me your avoidance, please. It probably hit you.
Okay.
Oof.
18. Bloody hell.
Avoidance is 9.
Yeah, it landed double your avoidance, so it definitely hits. Your armor score, please.
I hate math.
I'm doing most of the math myself. Don't worry about it. I just need to know what your armor score is.
Is it supposed to still be at 35?
Yeah, like 35 because like tier 5 medium armor, right?
Okay, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's the same as a couple of us. I have 35. The only one who really has above that is Alistair, because he is a tanky bastard.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
So
I
that
am the living, breathing tank.
so that comes out to a total of 106 points of damage to Rocket, as this Deadfire Raven lunges forward and pecks at your chest, and it doesn't do as much damage as the Raven clearly would like, but it does hurt, and you're like, ah!
Okay.
All right, this next
We got
Raven here
peckers.
is going to come over here, and it is going to attack the currently on the ground below Ixion with an Ashen Cloud. Or rather, with Ashen Darts. Excuse me. It's a medium range attack.
The ominous music.
They're getting all high rolls and we are getting all low. What the fuck?
Oh, we haven't missed yet, so don't complain just yet.
Extra.
All right,
Well, he doesn't count. He's clearly an idiot.
all right, so that does hit Ixion in spite of his 13 avoidance. So that will be
I knew it. He's just elderly.
Ixion is something.
That's max damage.
So he watches this raven spreads out its wings and a bunch of its feathers light up orange, and then it flaps them forward and they shoot forward like razor-sharp darts that stab into Ixion as he's picking himself up, and you're going, ah! The raven that is currently engaged with Velmarak is going to start flapping its wings, take flight, position itself here, sort of swooping around, and will use the same attack on him.
Question, Thanatos. Your Thunderstorm, is that a once per fight thing, or do you just need the MP?
I just need the MP. 150 of it.
Yeah, Alistair, next time
I
can you
can
give
give
him...
him a fight. I know.
Yeah, we need the big AoE damage.
Alright, so 13 will indeed hit Velmarak.
I
Upsettingly.
mean, why do you think I still got Alchemist?
Alright, so with that in mind, so many numbers.
You have no one to blame but yourself.
I know, but hey, I mean, another round of this and you guys will have them all basically dead anyway. Because I will say that they're all pretty close.
Ooh.
Well, I mean, a thunderstorm.
I think there's one thing that should, if it's possible, everyone has, or at least a few more of us have alchemy. It's very useful. Mainly the big hitters. with
Alright,
magic.
so another flurry of darts fly in and pierce Velmarak all over, sending him skidding back. Let's see here.
There's so many of them. If
That's
we
it.
even survive this wave.
We will. Have faith, Thanatos. We've survived worse.
I mean, surely
All
some
right,
of them
for the
are out
sake of
range.
all right, so for the sake of expediency, I'm going to move these three all at once, and all three of them are going to also be taking flight, so they are in the air now. Give me just a second here. And for the sake of it, I'll roll all of their attacks simultaneously and do all of their damage with one roll if they hit anything. So they're all focusing on one target. Given the massive shit show Thanatos just caused for them all, they're focusing on you, buddy.
Oof.
Yeah, so...
Bring it.
Leah,
I eat pain.
That's Alice's job.
yeah.
I thrive on it.
If it's
You eat the
darkness,
shadows.
All right,
and use
so that is an 11, a 14, and a 16 to hit.
Which all hit, of course.
Alrighty then.
I know.
Your armor, please.
50.
All right, we'll just multiply
Well,
that
no,
number by
this is not
3 to get your total. So you take 300 and nice points of damage.
Ouch.
1, 2,
300
3,
and,
ouch.
300 and what?
Nice, otherwise known as 69. So 369.
Ow.
As this,
No.
as this flurry of feathers comes puncturing you all over, sort of making you take a few steps back and sort of try to shelter yourself with your arms. You are bleeding profusely from that flurry.
Well, I know what Mika's job is next round.
These three are not going to engage in any particular battle for the moment. They are going to assume a defensive formation in front of Zaltea, and will all use the guard action, so they take 50% damage from all attacks for this next round. So they are protecting themselves. Where's the shield? There's the shield. Alright, still got a couple more I need to sort through. Jesus Christ.
Yes, all
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them, in fact.
Yeah. So these two, or these three rather, are going to fly to their buddy's aid. All entering into flight. We got a real conspiracy, our Raven just blocking out the clouds here.
I wonder.
So we will have this. So we'll have these three all open fire on Velmarak because he's the only one they're in range of.
Fortunately, he has a lot of health points.
That he does. So all three of them hit. And Velmarak's armor score, I believe, is 40. Because his armor is not particularly great. So we'll triple that value. So Velmarak takes a total of 417 points of damage as he is now being harassed.
Ouch. About this goes on, I'll be right back.
Alright. Let's see here. This Deadfire Raven back here is... It can't really do a whole lot, so I'm just going to have it use its entire turn to fly around until it is here. And then last one, kind of a similar story. I'll just have it sort of start circling around until it is over here. And now it is Zaltea's turn.
Of course.
Oh, God.
Come on, bitch.
Alrighty. Time for the big lady. Well, seeing as she is currently being protected by her friends... Give me a second. Well, for one thing, that's something I should have remembered a second ago. As all of this is happening, you see that the flames of Zaltea's form are sort of moving to coalesce around the points where she had been struck previously, and she regains 24 hit points just as a standard part of the beginning of her turn.
Because
she has a minor regen effect. Is there anyone that she is in range to attack right now? No, and she ain't moving. So all she is going to do is she is going to hold position, and she is going to expend 40 MP to cast Firaga.
Wow.
Oh, joy.
So that will be 180 plus 2d6 fire magic armor damage to everyone.
Well, Thanos is going down.
What do you think I'm going down?
184, and you have 177 hit points?
We haven't gotten to the magic armor calculations.
Has magic armor, nah.
Which is?
25.
So you take 159 points of damage, so he's up, but he's in pain.
I am fine.
Right. You are lying, sir.
Alistair, your magic armor, please.
He's not back yet.
Oh.
Well, we have his sheet.
Right.
His magic armor is 65.
Jesus Christ. So he takes...
the tanks.
Oh, and he's also going to take the damage meant for Mika. Because he's covering her.
So Mika's is 35.
So he's going to take another 149 on top of that.
And
I take 149, so there you go.
All right. And Rocket also takes 149.
I was kind of hoping like Rocket would have like an ability that just makes her immune to fire at this point.
No, that's what
Isn't
she
she
gets.
Isn't she wearing the Phoenix barding anymore?
The barding the equipment she's currently wearing gives her like I think immunity to shadow.
I don't know why she would need that. She doesn't have a weakness to shadow.
But you guys are fighting fiends, so
Fair enough. I mean, none of them have really used any shadow attacks against us, mostly because I would just eat it.
Ixion takes a total of 114 from that.
And so that's stupidly high magic armor. And what about Lord Odin?
134 to Odin. Not like it matters, he has over 5,000 HP. He's end boss class, he has 5,100 hit points.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So.
Take an end boss to an end boss fight.
Right? So, this...
We use the end boss to destroy the end boss.
Yeah, pretty much. So this wave of fire expands out from Zaltea, washing over the battlefield and searing at all of you. Alistair, you barely managed to shelter Mika from the worst of it, quickly putting yourself in the path of it. Everyone else takes some notable stretch of damage, but otherwise manages to stay on their feet. Oh, wait, hold on. Did I do the damage for Velmorak yet? I did not do the damage for Velmorak yet.
I am perfectly fine.
So Velmorak takes 144.
No, I am perfectly.
You are lying.
All right, so it is back to the party. You're all in pain, but you're up.
So, yeah. We did decide ahead of time that Alistair was going to give like a high bloody ether to Thanatos to do a big brainstorm.
I did the calculations. Unfortunately, even if he gave me a high ether with Alchemist, that's 75% back to me, and it still wouldn't quite be enough. So I would ask the Almighty DM. I would ask the Almighty DM a question.
Yes.
No, I know like when people are down, you can use you can have somebody else come in and use their standard action to use something from their item pack. Would it be possible if maybe Nee or Mika to come over and use their standard action to...
That's why I was just thinking, we've done it before.
I mean, you could do that. You could also just substitute your movement action to use an item. I allow that too.
Oh, okay. Well, then that's perfectly fine.
So if you take a ether of your own to the movement, Alistair gives you high ether, which we decided ahead of time, which is good because he's not here.
Yes, I do have a high ether. So, yes. So Alistair will come over and give me one of his high ethers, and I will also take a high ether.
And by the way, Mika will be casting Kiraja after you've done your thing.
Because I want the extra damage from Last Resort.
Yes. I'll go ahead and roll the calculations for her spell now, but I won't apply the numbers until after you've done your thing.
Does Last Resort technically fall under Dark Side abilities?
No. That is not part of Dark Side. Dark Side is my innate ability, which I cannot use. Last Resort is a completely other ability, and it doesn't have to resort to Shadow unless I want it to.
Yeah.
So, that's just an extra +3 damage steps.
Nice.
Make it rainy.
I shall make it rainy. After I use 150 NP to do it again, I shall make Ramu proud. Good douche!
Alright, so after that, everyone will get back 136 hit points because of Mika casting Kiraja. So go ahead and apply that to yourselves while I am doing the math on the burbs.
It's plus 136. Nearly back full.
Well then. Okay, so the rest of you watch as everyone sort of quickly moves over to Thanatos is quickly tended to by Alistair. There's this moment where he's just chugs two things in rapid succession, and once he tosses the vials aside, he brings the scythe up again, and once again brings it down, and another tsunami rushes outwards in all directions. And this time the ravens are not prepared for it, as they all sort of turn and look, and as the waves wash over them, their flames sputter out and their bodies disintegrate and scatter as ash, except for
the guarding ones?
Except for the ones that are guarding Zaltea, because they only take half damage from this. So they are still alive, but all of the others... Whoop, that was wrong. But all of the others just immediately disintegrate.
That makes all of our lives easier. Have we increased the health of Ixion, Odin, Velmarak, and Alistair from that cure?
I will get to them in a second. For now, I need to delete a lot of tokens.
Deleted.
Yep, so the battlefield is a lot more clear now. Alright, and now I need to do the healing. Let's see here. Did need to apply the HP back to Rocket, I think. It looks like she did getting it.
Indeed.
So plus 136 to you. So Rocket is back up to 415. Velmarak. Let's see here. Odin.
It even matters to Odin, he doesn't feel pain.
Yeah, he's back to full. Alrighty. So, that was Thanatos and Alistair doing their stuff there.
Right, so remind me, trying to melee something in the air, what's the debuff?
A -4 penalty to a short range attack. Your crossbow will suffer no penalty.
Yeah.
But if your dagger will suffer -4. And these things are still
Negative.
guarding, so your damage is going to be your final damage is going to be halved anyway.
I'm aware, but still. Right, since I can't melee anything else in range right now, I might as well go for it. Go and shoot. Why not? So my accuracy will be 4, so I'm unlikely to hit, but give it a go.
First, let's do crossbow.
Oh, I'm just meleeing first, getting out of the way.
Okay.
If the dice would roll and not. Oh, there we go.
Not quite.
Nope,
Just-
that
It's
misses.
that second bloody dice.
Yeah. Yeah. You try to jump up and slash at it with your dagger, but it effortlessly sort of pirouettes beside you, and you almost hear it sort of like as you're soaring past with this sort of a
Oh, it's laughing at me, is it?
yeah. You hit it that time
So
though.
dash 2d6 plus 132. Painkiller, water.
Yep. I will get to all of those things here in a momento.
It laughed at the wrong person.
Actually, I just realized Fiend Killer doesn't actually apply here because they don't count as fiends. They count as arcane aerials.
That is. Well,
It's still
Yeah,
dead.
it
It
counts
doesn't
as-
matter.
Okay, well,
It only had 60 HP
still
left,
dead.
and after all the calculations, even after sawing your damage in half, it came out to 74. So that is a dead bird. So boof.
it laughed, and he just kind of pouts,
So-
glares
so-
at it, and just lifts a crossbow and shoots it.
Yeah, so you sail past it, it laughs at you, you sort of grab onto the side of that mesa, you turn back, and you just fire off a shot as it's laughing and turning to face you. You hit it right in the beak, its beak shatters, and the rest of it scatters into dust. Alright, so Alistair, Thanatos, and Nee have gone. That leaves Rocket and then Mika.
Can Rocket get into range? Unfortunately not. Did Rocket get a long range attack?
Hold on.
Yeah, bear with us on Lumina's turns, because it has been a while. She's going to need time to refamiliarize herself with some of her abilities.
And new ones.
Yeah. Like, she got Paradigm Shift. That's a fun one. Okay, so you're making an accuracy check?
Oh wait. Like, okay.
Yeah, the thing you were
can I-
attacking. Yeah, the thing you were attacking is kind of dead, and you're not within a melee range of anything else. Alas.
yeah, that's the thing. I realized that only after I rolled accuracy.
You do have other things you can do. Like, you have some abilities you can use that could probably, give your allies some buffs.
I'll have to look at those. Mm. You have to forgive me. My vision's a bit blurry, especially with dirty glasses.
I gotcha. That's fine. Take your time.
I'm killing the mood.
No, it's fine. I guess I can give you guys Mad Rush.
Ooh.
All right.
What does that do? That sounds cool.
All right, so
It
it's a
gives
slow
us
action.
haste.
Yeah, it's a slow action. So Rocket, that'll go off at the start of your next round. So Rocket just plants her feet and starts sort of you can all just sort of hear the beginnings of this sound deep in her throat, but it hasn't fully manifested yet. So
Is Rocket also capable of moving? Because you could also move a little closer just so next turn you can reach some.
yeah, she can still have a movement action. So if you want to get closer to something, you can do so as well.
Okay. And I'm gonna move closer to the enemy as well.
All right. So we'll just park you right there, sort of equidistant to both of them, and you can pick your targets next time. Now it is
Okay.
Mika, I believe, has already gone with a Kiraja.
Indeed.
So
Now it's to Ixion and Odin.
yep. So it's back to Ixion and Odin. Ixion is going to pick himself back up because he is eager to redeem himself. And as he is moving along, you all watch as he is running through the air. For one thing, he is really quick. But more than that, he's straight up running on air.
How does that work?
Like as his hooves strike just below him, there's this crackle of electricity, and he just pushes himself further up, and there's these swirls of elemental wind energy with every step too. So it seems as though he has an affinity for more than just lightning. He also has an affinity for air.
He's an airbender.
Oh god.
So he will. What Ixion is going to do is he wasn't too keen on that fire bolt, so he is going to use Aura Snatch on that dead fire raven there.
Pardon?
What is it doing?
Well, I'm pretty sure a 17 hits. 17 definitely hits.
Yeah, that hits. But what does it do?
So, as Ixion comes up, he points his horn at the target. There's a energy sort of pulls out of the raven and flies towards him. And he is given the effects of Shell for 4 rounds.
Ixion is?
Yep.
So what was the accuracy then for?
Because he was pulling energy from his target to defend himself.
We thought he was a horse, turns out he's a turtle.
Alright, so Ixion has Shell. Odin, meanwhile...
Can he really do anything from that far away?
Odin is going to jump from his perch and land with this ponderous and heavy in front of Thanatos, Alistair, and Mika.
Whoa.
He's not quite in range of anything just now.
So you got any...
The All-Father was with us.
But what he will do... What he will do is he will use the Blackest Night on himself.
Excuse me?
So until the start of his next round, he is considered to be under the effects of Protect and Shell.
Has it...
You calm down.
That's my stick from 14!
It's just the Dark Knight shtick from 14 in general, and Odin is the quintessential Dark Knight. So you watch as he sort of holds his sword up in front of his face so that, like, the blade is between his eyes, and there's this swirl of energy around him, and you can tell that his armor just hardened a lot.
So...
I missed a lot.
Yeah, you did.
So, yeah, I disintegrated most of the birds.
You need to get rid of a hive from inventory because you used one as we said you would.
I was going to say, so I take it you took one of my Haifas. Good.
Yep. He killed most of them. I killed one of the others, and then... No, it's NPC's turn.
Before that, could I cover Thanatos because he's not looking too great? Just in case.
I mean, you may.
I mean, Velmarak is also on that, because as Velmarak hops down from his position to round out the allies' turn, he is going to point his sword at Thanatos, and is going to use an ability that grants Thanatos Protect until the end of his next turn.
Awesome. That's handy.
A lot of shell and protect going around this fight.
You're double protected.
Apparently.
Alright, so, until the start of your next turn, Hades, you are considered to be under the effects of Protect.
Which I don't think will matter much, considering these things tend to do more magic damage than anything.
Alright, it is back to our enemies. The 2 remaining dead fire ravens drop their defensive stance, and both will just move to start harassing the fuck out of Ixion.
Yes. Yes, harass the giant lightning horse.
Yep, so, they will both make accuracy checks against him.
I'll see how high his avoidance is. That's a crit.
So,
Ouch.
let me just double check his avoidance. So Ixion manages to dodge one of them, but the other one hits him directly and hurts like hell. So,
Please tell me.
I have
it's
5
magic damage.
hyenas left.
so the base damage, and then subtract Ixion's armor from that, which is 40.
Then double it.
So Ixion takes 268 points of damage from that.
Ixion's not having a whole lot of luck with this fight.
Yeah,
is
he's
he?
not having a good time. So he just finishes stealing the energy from one, and that one immediately shoots darts at him from its wings to try and retaliate, but he manages to sort of drop some altitude to dodge it. But in doing so, he flies right into another storm of feathers from the one that was behind its buddy, skewering him all over and making him stagger back in the air. But damn it! And now it is to Zaltea.
What does the discount Phoenix do?
Well, for one thing, she gets back another 24 HP.
Because why not?
And she is going to look at Neothil and is going
Oh,
to
shit.
use Infernal Plume on her.
Which
That
does.
sounds bad.
It is. Definitely sounds bad. Mm.
So that's a 15 to hit.
Yes.
Please,
And what's
please
the
do tell me
damage?
your magic armor.
35.
Ouch.
This doesn't sound good.
Double ow! Fucking hell!
So Neothil takes 301 points of damage as the wall of the mesa that she's still kind of perched on after shooting that dead fire raven suddenly lights up, turns red hot, and you barely even have time to like let go instinctually, like before the whole thing just explodes outward, sending me rocketing back to land a medium range over here.
Shit!
Guess she's grouchy that I shot over my ship.
Oof.
All right, and with that, it is back to the party.
Rocket thing.
Mm-hmm.
We all get haste.
Yep, so at the very start, Rocket's slow action goes off. She throws back her head, peels open her mouth, and this long, loud, peacock-like cry sounds out, causing the very air around you all to reverberate, and for this round only, everyone gains the benefits of haste.
I could do
And
double action. I could give
and
Thanatos a Haifa.
and furthermore, all damage they deal until the end of the round is increased by 1 step.
That too.
Oh. Thank you, Rocket.
You're welcome.
That is why Rocket is best bird.
And Rocket also has haste and still has a full turn, so...
Oh, nice.
Hey, Rocket, fancy helping me kick the shit out of this fake phoenix?
Yeah.
All right. All right, so are you two just going to gang up on Zaltea?
She has Holy, and I have Fiendkiller.
Right. Just as a heads up, because of how far away you were knocked, you can't get in range for melee attacks, so you can only get off 2 crossbow shots.
I
Rocket...
mean, I have another. I have a second movement action technically as well, so
Right. Fair
I'll
enough.
be able to get off 1 melee attack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can get off a melee attack, yeah.
Yeah.
So a total of 3 attacks. 2 with your crossbow,
So-
1 with your dagger. So we'll
66
start with that.
less.
So it's my
Oh
turn?
shit!
Let's do knee first. Because
Okay.
Tom's already rolling.
So I have 3 attacks, then you have 2.
And after this, I want to talk to
Hey,
Hades of a
Tom,
plan.
Tom. You know
Yeah?
what I realized?
What?
You're the knight who says me.
We've already made that joke. I made that joke earlier.
The knight that says "Neh."
I'm just going to use that bottled up rage and point it more towards the bird. Yeah, the fiery bird. That is.
Hey, Thanatos, when it's
Bye.
our turn, I have a plan.
A plan.
Come roll the dice. Stuck on rolling. There we go. 12.
A 12 to hit.
Yep.
All right, so that one does not hit. No.
Ooh.
Her avoidance is 14.
Well, on
You
that,
need
the
to-
first one, I'm also using disabling shot to lower its avoidance.
All right,
Thank
fair enough.
you.
And then this is
the dagger, and that will hit.
melee.
Yep. All right, so let's do the one crossbow attack that hit first. Roll the damage on that. That is still...
Technically, if it hits first...
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, fuck, all three of
Very
those
good
just hit. I'm pretty sure you're out of water arrows at this point, so it's just Fiend
Yeah.
Killer, though. So.
It's just
2 Fiend Killers and
then lightning.
lightning.
If
So-
she has any elemental weakness to lightning, I don't
2d6
remember.
plus 88. 2d6 plus 100.
Alrighty.
I love at this point Storm does more damage.
It's a tier higher.
All right,
But,
so,
technically my crossbow still does more damage against a lot of enemies because of Elemental Arrow and Fiend Killer.
okay. So now...
I can help you with that. What's Saltea's armor?
Hang on, I'm on it. There's one thing I need to do before I apply the damage from your dagger. I need you to make an athletics check to successfully climb up to her location, because she is a ways up. So even with your movement speed, you're gonna have to make a check to climb that without falling. That just is enough. So you managed to climb up to be next to her for your dagger to hit, and that one's just lightning damage. No Fiend Killer.
No Fiend Killer, just lightning.
Okay then. So
Did
that
she have any reaction to lightning?
no reaction to lightning. So that comes out to from that one. So from that one, that comes out to 44 damage. So in total, that would be 3 different strikes that came out to 74, 64, and 44 points of damage.
Now take it.
Damn.
Which comes out to a grand spanking total of 182 points of damage in one round. So Nia goes charging forward, firing off 2 shots from a crossbow in rapid succession, and as Altea is reeling from that, quickly scrambles up the slopes and brings her dagger across Altea's lower belly, sending out this spray of blackened ash and sparks from the blow. It feels very wrong to be striking at something this intangible with your weapon, but it works. Now for Rocket, you get 2 melee attack rolls, or if you want to use a different one of your abilities, you may do so. And just as a reminder, you can perform a paradigm shift as an instant action the first time in a combat encounter.
Okay.
It
I'll
becomes
have to read what that does because I don't know off the top of my head.
Yeah, it's on your character sheet.
Like I said, I'm gonna have to read it.
Yeah.
Huh.
In this case, Ravager would probably be the best one to roll with.
Yeah, probably. Alright, I'm gonna do the Ravager one.
All right, so as Rocket sort of gives her wings a few flaps to come up for her own attack on Zaltea, you all see the sort of swirl of blue light around her, and you can see that there's now some sort of magical energy crackling along her claws and beak. So, you may now make your 2 accuracy checks in rapid succession.
Okay.
All right, 14
Right.
hits. All right,
Also
so
hit.
both hit.
Okay.
Now we do damage for those.
Hmm.
Okay.
And I will handle the Ravager damage after we've done the base stuff.
Do I have to roll that twice too?
Yes.
Yeah, you have to roll your damage twice because it was 2 separate hits. But I'll handle the Ravager damage because that's just a pre-calculated thing.
Okay.
Six, 68, and that's with holy, I imagine.
Oh, yeah, it is. All right, so while Zaltea's fiery hide is very tough and your claws don't initially seem to do the most damage, it is as the pearly light from your claws are shining as you channel holy energy into them that your Ravager effect also comes into effect. And there are these 2 bright pulses of sort of deep ocean blue light with each kick. And each one deals an additional 30 points of utterly unmitigated magic damage to Zaltea, coming out to a total of 60 additional damage on top of what you did previously.
Okay.
So Zaltea slides back a bit from the force of those kicks. Thanatos and Alistair, you're up.
Okie
All
dokie.
right, Alistair, you said had plan.
Indeed, but first, how's she looking?
She has not suffered a whole fuck ton of damage so far, and there are still 2 dead fire ravens on the field to deal with.
You could give me another.
So I was
Heiser
gonna
and I
say,
can blast
how would
them.
you like to hit her twice with that powerful spell of yours?
Well, he doesn't have the MP to do Thunderstorm twice.
I could give him it though,
Well, again, darkness.
or I
You-
could heal everyone
I would
and
need-
give you 1 big massive damage.
Well, you could give me a high ether, and I can do Thundara. I can do Thundaga twice.
Exactly. Ah. So wait, you'd be able to cast it twice if I just give you 1?
I can cast. I can't do Thunderstorm, but I can do Thundaga.
Thundaga isn't nearly as powerful, but it also costs a lot less MP.
But I also still get. I also still get the bonus from
Last Resort.
Last Resort.
Right.
So give me the ether. Give me.
Alright then, alright, you get your high ether.
I'm just turning into an ether, just junkie.
An
at this
ether
point.
You're
junkie.
etherholic.
Someone call rehab. We got an ether junkie.
Just, I want to chug it all.
Nope.
I can imagine that now.
Okay.
I am Thanatos, and I'm an etherholic.
Indeed. Hi, Grandma.
Yeah, Grandma doesn't seem to understand the concept of my door is closed and I'm doing a thing. Go away.
And my mother's a workaholic. This brought the Hoover up again.
All right,
which is why I was muted for a
so
while.
66 and 68 for 2 casts of Thundaga.
Alright, that's from Rocket.
Oh, my bad.
I haven't done my rolls
Oh.
for Thundaga because I
I
need
was
to
gonna
double
say,
check
we
on the
really need
damage.
to deal with this boss, so how do you wish to do it?
Thundaga hits
Wait.
everything.
Thundaga hits everything. So
Exactly.
Power times 6 plus 3 from Last Resort. That's power times 9. So yes, 153. So
I have 4 high
153.
ethers.
That is my damage.
All right.
So the Ravens are dead.
Yeah, even given the fact that they take half damage from thunder, yeah. Yeah.
I still smite.
Yeah, combined that combined that comes out to 88 points of damage, and they both only had 65 left. So
Hey, they should be grateful we made their name true. They are dead fire.
so once again, Thanatos lifts up his scythe, but instead of a tsunami emerging out from all directions, instead this big bolt of lightning shoots up into the sky, forms this crackling sphere of electricity that just starts sending bolts of electricity crackling over the entire battlefield, and those few dead fire ravens that remain let out these harrowing shrieks and cries of agony as the lightning pierces their flesh, and they are reduced to ash.
And the damage
Bye-bye.
to Altea.
And Zaltea also takes damage from that. Give me a moment. I don't think she has any elemental reaction to lightning.
I mean, we did lightning with Nee's dagger, so I don't think so.
No, she doesn't.
Yeah, she doesn't take any particular reaction, but she does still take 216 points in total from that.
I imagine she doesn't appreciate that.
She's not happy. All right, and Alistair. All right, so Alistair used one of his movement actions or standard actions, his pick, to give Thanatos that high ether. So
I suppose I could heal everyone. Up as
Uh,
Healing is
Yes,
good.
yes, please. I'm in
Yeah.
pain.
As it was, I kind of did want to basically give off more damage to the boss, but you need the heal,
Mika's
so-
the one with Kiraja.
But
mine
Mika's
could heal
tank.
more heals. So we have options. Do we have?
I mean, you can also give another ether to Mika, who is tapped.
So
I
she
mean,
could do it
I mean,
on that
Mika was
floor.
gonna drink her own high ether and then just cast Kiraja.
I mean, she could do that. So, yes, Alistair, if you wish to do damage, you may.
Well, you were going to do the damage if I give you a high ether, but oh well.
I mean,
I'm going to do
I
a
don't
heal
need
instead,
it.
I think.
I say heal. You must have the heals.
Healing time.
90 points of damage back to everybody.
Wait, damage? I'm healing.
I said
I don't want to damage my friends.
All right, I mean, okay, so we're just doubling up on healing. All right,
I'm
all right.
All right.
I'm going to say no because I'm 174. So
I also got like. Movement actions,
I mean, yes,
haven't I?
you may also have.
So including the two
actions if
movement
you wish.
actions, give me a moment. Let's have a look.
What is that?
Oh, I could just get there in one actually. Never mind.
All right, so that 138 there is how
'Cause
much
I am going
MP
to
is.
one up
is
here.
okay. Just so everyone is aware, that 138 there is how much HP everyone gets back from Mika's cast of Kiraja.
alright, so plus
Okay,
one.
okay.
Great. I'm feeling much better now.
Yep, Rocket is back up to full.
You're welcome. And yes, I am running up to Neve to cover her, just in case.
Did you give the HP back to yourself, Alistair?
I'm doing that now. I've just one up there. So yeah.
And I'm getting covered.
Don't worry, Neve. I'm
no.
here.
Velmarak
I'm
has
a comet.
too much.
All right. Alrighty. So there's that. So I believe
lot of heals.
So I believe I've done everyone's healing at this point.
Yeah. You just need to move the cover
Yeah,
token
don't worry, I'm
from.
doing my own healing. And I also need
You-
to take away 60 of my MP.
You need to move the cover token from Thanatos to knee.
I am. Give me a second. It takes time.
Nine, I give you no time.
Dipshit.
Oh, that was like
Okay.
me on top of a cliff.
I'm on 562 hit points. Nice. I could take a hit.
Well, of course you can take a hit. You take all the hits. You are the
Alrighty.
tank.
Give me all the
all right,
damage, I dare you.
All right, so that was one of Mika's standard actions.
Didn't she drink a potion?
I
Or
thought
she
I
used
thought
the
I
move
thought
one.
Alistair was the one who gave her that.
Wait.
Aren't you the one who gave
I
Mika
did the heals to everyone.
No.
Yeah,
No.
you did one heal, and then he gave him a one potion.
You
Yeah.
gave me a Thanatos potion.
I gave Thanatos the potion. I
Oh,
can't do
okay,
a
then
third
yeah, so
action.
yeah, all right, so okay, in that case, Mika will have had to have used one of her movement actions and standard actions, so she still has a regular turn of stuff left.
Yeah.
There's not really a whole lot else she can do right now, so she's just going to flip
Maybe
her.
chug down an ether.
So she's out. So she's just gonna flip her book into sword mode and run into melee range because there's nothing else she can do until she gets back some MP.
I'd be doing that next turn.
All right, it is back to our allies. And as it
As
is, we actually have to pause for a second because I have to be right back. Nature's calling really, really hard, and I can ignore it no longer. I've been trying to ignore it for 30 minutes,
We're
but I
all
can't.
going today.
So I gotta be right back. I'll try to make it swift.
Go, go, go.
Hey.
Swift like the wind.
Or as it is, like a waterfall.
Hmm. Although my mother's probably doing the hoovering, indicating she's gonna go to bed soon, which is gonna be a pain. I'm in the middle of a boss fight.
Well, we don't do like all of its ads are gone. This thing is probably hurting because I hit it with Fiend Killer several times. Rocket has holied it up.
Hmm. I probably will still keep playing, but forgive me if I be silent because
It's fine.
unless you want the screaming mother in my mic. Sucks albums are connected.
So, Rocket, you must make it even more holy. So just imagine that this fight's going. I was like, wait, time out. Our malevolent overlord needs to go pee-pee.
Malevolent overlord.
Malevolent.
He who loves to torture us. He who sicked 15 birds on us, which we disintegrated.
Fortunately, our bird is better.
Our bird is better. Which I was reading more into Paradigm Shift for Rocket. Technically, Rocket can use life
Yeah.
without having to use NP.
That is incredibly useful for when we are panicking and dying. Which has happened.
Unfortunately it's a slow action still, but again, no MP, and she can use it however she wants.
Useful because while you were gone, we had our second near-death experience, and that was Knee. She got downed, and there was a slow action going on to kill her. Caused a bit of a frenzy. She got stabbed in the abdomen.
There's a lot actually this thing gives. Sentinel can give her boost to armor and magic armor equal to her level times 2. So that's an extra 24 to all of her armor.
Neat.
Commando, all the fighter and all allies receive +1 bonus to all accuracy scores, and one next to senseless. Whenever participates in failed teamwork attack while in the stance, only the warrior's attack is lost and nullified. The ally still deals damage as normal. It says you can target one enemy, make it a force roll as a slow action, or whatever you want to
My apologies, I would have been back a little bit faster, but my grandmother insisted on accosting me so I could explain how the backspace key works.
Yes.
Yeah, her memory isn't the best anymore. Anyway, so we will begin with Ixion, who is going to come around up here, and he does actually have double movement speed just innately as a heads up.
Well, I kind of figured with how much he moves.
And he will... Well, actually, he's not going to be within melee range there, so he's going to move back a bit because he knows Zaltea. He doesn't like her. He's instead going to angle his horn down and use Thunderbolt.
Thunderbolt?
Yep.
Still curious how these guys know each other.
I'm sure it will be explained.
Indeed. So that is a 15 to hit, which definitely hits.
Is he hasted as well?
You know what? Yeah, technically, yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, he's hasted for this round. Forgot about that.
Technically, it works on all of Rocket's allies, which includes them. So, Thunderbolt.
So, first cast of Thunderbolt does 127 damage. And then he shall roll it again. And get another hit for another 124. So, as this lightning horse goes galloping around through the air, he takes up this widespread stance a ways away from Zaltea, lowers his horn down, and two large lightning bolts fly out and strike against the side of the Archfiend. And she just looks sideways at him with this offended but almost amused look. Is that all the Pretender has?
Pretender.
In response to that, Odin will, step forward himself.
And shall hurl the javelin.
Well, actually, no, he's pulling out his sword.
Oh dear.
So, he isn't using his kill-all limit break, but he is using his sword for this attack.
Oh dear.
When Odin gets out the sword, bad things happen to us at the receiving end.
Yeah, that's a hit. All right. So that means he now needs to make an opposed force check against Zaltea.
Why?
This attack technically deals no damage unless it can succeed on a force check. So we'll do Odin first.
Let's go.
Come on, Odin. You are a god. A literal god. Yes.
Oh yeah.
All right, so if Zaltea weren't classified as an end boss, she would have just been reduced to 0 hit points.
But as she is...
As she is an end boss, her current HP simply gets sliced in half.
Oh!
That's gonna hurt.
Can he do it again? Can he do it again?
I mean, it won't kill her. It effectively just acts as Demi, but yeah, he can technically do it. So either way, Odin jumps up and swings his sword. There's this crimson arc that sails through the air behind it, crackling with energy, and as he strikes Zaltea in the chest with it, there's this deafening, high-pitched, pealing shriek of magic feedback, and the sound of, tearing metal and shredding flesh, and Zaltea letting out this high-pitched scream as she slides back. And Odin is immediately following through, jumping up to where she was and chasing after her with another attack. He is not letting up in his offensive here.
Good. As I smite this bitch.
He hits again, so another...
Force check. So we're basically cutting...
You half it, then you half it again.
So basically we're cutting her her HP down to like a quarter.
But this
What it
time she
was.
manages. But this time she manages to dodge it. As Odin comes in for a follow-through strike, Zeltea is ready for it this time. She gives her wings a powerful flap and lifts up above it, and just barely avoiding the slash. She lifts up into the air, a ways up. And so at the start of her turn, for one thing, as per the usual, she regains the customary 24 hit points. Kind of paltry compared to the over 900 she just lost.
I was about to say she just had her HP cut in half.
She is going to glare down at Odin and the rest of you. And let's see here. She is going to use Eldritch Burst.
Limit break?
No. I never actually designed one for her.
Wow, she doesn't even get a limit break.
Your final battle with her won't have one be applicable. So that is a 14 to hit against everyone.
And that hits everyone.
It doesn't hit Odin.
What do you mean it doesn't hit Odin?
It doesn't hit Odin. It hits everyone except Odin. Odin's avoidance is 15.
Jesus.
He's a god.
Quite right for a big
No.
guy.
Well, it's a theme now. Now I gotta use the bathroom. Be right back.
So that is
Jesus.
so that is 276 points of non-elemental magic damage to everyone, and it comes accompanied by an opposed force check where she tries to knock back everyone she hit.
241 minus. First force check. Huh? This is
Yeah, so oh boy, she rolled a 20.
Yeah, we're not doing this. Sort of, right. Yeah. No.
Yeah, nope.
No. Oh.
Poor
Ixion's curse continues.
Poor Ixion.
He's just getting his ass beat this entire fight. This is so on brand as well.
Valmarak doesn't get it either, but at least his isn't a critical fail. So, but just on the grounds that Odin got a critical fail on that, I'm just gonna have him take double damage from this.
I mean, Ixion.
Ixion, yeah. Odin doesn't take anything. He's fine.
He's just facepalming at his steed's display.
He's actually more looking on with, like, concern. Like, there's some history here you are not privy to. So that winds up becoming a total of 452 damage to Ixion. Oh, Alistair actually takes the damage meant for you, Tom.
Hi.
Yeah,
So,
because he's covering you, so...
Last 100.
That
So-
I do. That's
What?
my job. I take it.
Does that include the force or not?
Maybe your best shot. I can take it.
Sure, yeah, let's have that. No, Alistair can roll force individually, because that still would have hit him, too. He just takes
Yes.
your damage. Also, if I may know, Alistair, your magic armor, please.
My magic armor should be 46 still. Just make sure.
Thought it was 64.
No, what I meant
I
was that I
said
wasn't actually...
64. Hang on a minute. Yeah. Oh. 65.
Alright, so 211 on...
What I meant was, do I take the knockback since I wasn't actually hit by the attack?
You'll both get knocked back, because, like, Alistair puts himself in front of you and gets knocked back into you. So you
I'll
both
see.
go
Fair
sliding
enough.
back. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Alright, and the damage that Tom took was...
So I'll have to roll my force.
242.
So, and yep, I need Alistair to roll a force check for me, please.
Okay, dokie doke. Be good, please. Be
Yeah.
good, please. Be good, please. Be good, please. Be
If
good.
you pass it, we will both stay up.
Fuck.
But if you don't, which you won't.
I fucked it.
Yeah.
I forgot the space. I'm a fool. I tried it again.
If you could crit, that would be amazing.
Come on. There we go.
Nope.
Ah.
You did not crit.
All right. Did we get a force roll from Rocket yet?
Um.
13.
Mika doesn't get it.
Dang.
That is not what I need. So this thing is a mess.
Yeah, I know. It's not the most organized sheet. I wish I could do it better, but my options are limited. The force is near the top on the right.
No, I mean, like, the whole side sheets thing is really annoying.
Yeah, I gotcha. I've just kind of gotten used to it myself because I've been using it for Mika for literal years. So I've kind of learned the tricks to work around it. Alright, yeah, no, that is not enough to resist being knocked back, and Rocket will also take the 242 from that.
We're just missing Hallis.
Though he will also take the 242 regardless. Just waiting on his force check.
He is on the loop. Because that is a curse that is going around. It's contagious, clearly.
Yeah.
Right? I just went earlier.
Like, Lumina's gone, then Darkness went, then I went, now Hades is going. You have a 5 minutes and Tom will
And
have to go.
No, I do not follow trends. I shall not be peer pressured.
I shall
Screw
not
all
be
y'all.
peer pressured.
Oh, hey, Hades.
What did I miss?
You need to make a force
been-
check.
I need to make a force check.
You
Yes.
need to crit success to get this, so don't expect much.
Okay. What am I? What happened?
We're being pushed back.
Zaltea used an attack that knocks everyone back with the force check.
Ixion got a critical fail.
I'm sensing a theme with him.
Nope.
What do I need? What did I need to beat?
20. Zaltea rolled a 20 on her force.
Of course she did.
So, everyone gets knocked back short range, so effectively 0.3 medium range.
It puts a damper on my plans.
All right, and so Zaltea curls up into this ball and then flares out her wings, and this pulse of blackish fire energy irradiates out from her, slamming into everyone, though Odin weathers it just fine, just kind of standing tall in the face of it. And then once it passes, you've all been knocked back a considerable distance. Zaltea floats there for a second, glaring down at all of you. This isn't over, she seethes while glaring at Odin, and then turns to start flying towards the Hellfire Pit.
Oh, this
Are
song
you
and dance
crazy?
again.
No, you fucking don't. Stop us,
If I still had disabling shot, I would, but I don't.
Bollocks.
So we literally can't stop her.
I mean, you can try.
Well, considering what you did to us last time, I'm doubting we could, even if we did catch her, she'd just come back again.
Well, just try and deal as much damage as you can, and then smother her embers.
Wait, is she going after Ifrit?
Presumably.
Presumably.
Then we need to stop her.
And that's what we're gonna try to do.
Do you have some more information on that? What chance?
Because if she gets the Ifrit, she gets the crystals.
Well,
Hey,
She,
bad.
she gets one.
yeah, Ifrit only currently has the one. The other one is currently with the party. Velmarek has it.
But we need to get her before she gets that crystal.
That is true.
Indeed.
Yeah, so I'm not
Everything
using
we
black.
got.
So on that note, I'm not using Blackstorm, but I am doing sharp
Using
shot.
Sharp shot. All right.
Oh dear.
So
right,
we're all going after her.
Yep.
Mhm.
Just do as
And
much
I am
as you
dead.
can.
I don't care how my condition is. We're gonna have to stop her.
Yes.
You suddenly turned Scottish.
Sharp shot. So that's
Is
minus
it-
2, which puts me on.
Are you crossed?
I'd be fine. I am not cross.
Alright, so sharp shot, that heals so dex times double my level, 6, so my dex is currently 22, times...
I did not mean to do that.
What? Oh, hey, there's just a
I did
line.
not mean to draw.
There's just a line in the middle of the arena. It's fine.
I was meaning to point to them, not.
It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
520...
Jesus.
My mic.
Oh my.
And this is being killed.
Well, is this going to be another damage cap?
Might be.
Might be.
Maybe.
We can hope. So, yeah, just making sure I've got it all down, so you dex to 6. So it can't be stopped once per day. Alright, so 2d6 plus 528. 133.
Now, if I remember correctly, her armor was 40.
Her armor is 60.
Armor is 60. Okay.
And then double, so I think it's going to be just shy of the damage cap.
946 points of damage.
Nia needs to be nerfed.
No, she doesn't!
All right,
Anyway,
so
that's 2 destiny points.
so-
I'm down to 10, so I could do one more of those technically. But I can't do a Black Storm.
yeah.
Bloody hell.
Well, I mean, the haste has worn off at this point.
Yeah, I know, I'm just talking about it in general.
Yeah. So you fire off that shot. It goes zooping through the air, leaving this trail in its wake, and it strikes Zaltea in the side. And there's this pulse of energy from the force of the impact, and she very clearly sort of sags to one side with this from the blow. She's in the double digits.
Double.
Yes, we
Kill
can
her,
finish her.
kill her,
Kill her. Kill her now.
Kill it.
I mean.
Shit, I'm out of range, I think.
And get in range.
I'm
Magic.
trying, but... Magic, don't fail me now.
Limit break, do something. She's on double digits. You just need to like do 100
Magic.
damage and she's dead.
Yeah, but this is. Wait. Ixion can catch up.
Our fate lies in Ixion's.
I think about it. The only other one that could maybe is Rocket, but I don't think Rocket, even with flight, Rocket can't get close enough.
Well, the horsey
Oh,
could
what
try
you
if
could
it was
do
a demon.
is someone who's next to me ride on me and kick off me and
Oh, I
jump.
down here.
Right.
It's just. Okay, can Thanatos make it to Rocket? Can he?
I mean, I was
No.
about
Thanatos
here.
cannot quite
Can I
make
make
that
Someone
work.
it?
closest to her could jump off her.
Alternatively, Lumina, how many destiny points do you have nowadays?
Right now I'm sitting. Darn, it's. I hate that it's in the character sheet thing now because then I can't just look at it and have the roll open at the same time.
It's 14.
It's very annoying.
It's 14.
So if you use up 3, can you do your like 3-pronged attack thing?
That would
Could
I? You could, yes. That's how that works. You also could use Meteor Rain if you wanted.
Okay.
Yeah.
So can Rocket hit when she like? How
Alright,
close
so-
does she need to be?
Let me double check the specifics on how Meteor Rain works.
Okay, so it'll be right there. So it'd be in less than a medium range if she flew to about right here.
Me, well then they're going to require action to get on, so then I won't be able to do anything. I would have thought.
All right, so as it is, it's considered a once per day attack. However, Lumina can spend destiny points to repeat it however many times she wants in rapid succession. 1 point of destiny equals 1 repetition.
Okay,
Okay.
well if she's in the double digits, I don't think
So she can she make it within range?
does it say
Gi-
anything about
gi-
it being a range?
Given the fact that Meteor Rain says it hits the entire enemy group, so long as you are within 3 of your thing, which you are, I'll say
Oh, you
you
get
can
it.
use it.
Alright, do it.
Do it.
Do it, throw.
It's the most appropriate the bird
Alright, so,
finishes
So what do I have to
fake
roll for
phoenix.
this?
What? Well, let me just do the math
Attackers.
here because there aren't actually any dice rolls. It's just some number crunching that I'll handle. So just tell me your force and your finesse.
Okay. I keep forgetting that I don't have a thing open anymore. It's in the. I hate that it's in Roll20. It's really annoying.
We can sort that out maybe next
if,
time.
if you see, do you see that little box in the top left up there?
Yeah, I know what it is, and I had it open. It's just
Okay.
okay. Force is 5, finesse is 5.
All right. So that is your force plus your finesse plus twice your level. So that is just straight up 240 points of armor or magic armor damage, your pick.
Does this thing have magic armor?
She definitely has armor and magic armor scores, yes. It's just which defense you want to try and penetrate.
Magic armor.
All right. Well then,
She can stand either way.
it definitely doesn't matter. How do you want to do this? How do you
I
want
just
to?
straight up gonna land on her and drive her straight into the ground.
Yes.
Annihilate.
Okay,
Our
so,
burb is better than your burb.
okay, so repeat that one more time, please.
I just straight up wanna land on her and drive her into the ground with my foot.
Nice. All right, so the rest of you watch as Altea is trying to fly away. Odin sort of looks back at Rocket and sort of jerks his head in Altea's direction. Well, you wish to do the honors? And without a word, Rocket just kicks off the ground, goes shooting past with a few mighty flaps of her wings, rapidly gaining on Zaltea and swirling with energy, before coming right up above Zaltea, who turns around to look at her just in time like, oh shit. One quick pulse from the rocket boosters under her wings, and Rocket comes down, driving both of her legs into Zaltea's face, sending her rocketing down into the ground, pile driver meteor strike style, into the earth, kicking up this large cloud of dust and making the earth shake. And once the dust settles, Zaltea has vanished from the field, leaving just a big scorch mark on the ground.
Are there any embers? Any embers at all?
Make an awareness. Well, make an awareness check, but you're kind of far away from the scene, so roll with 1d6 on that.
All right. If everyone else could also try,
Sure.
take the rocket.
None of us
Ro-
else can
yeah,
see
Rocket
it.
is the only other one who could make that awareness check right now because she's the only one there. Everyone else has their line of sight broken, so they can't.
I can do it. 'Cause this is important.
But holy shit.
So,
That is most appropriate. The bird
Right.
shows up to finish off the fake phoenix.
damn you!
That's a fail.
That is definitely a fail.
Awareness,
Fuck
you
with the
say?
bird.
Awareness, yes.
Okay, let's see what my bonus is on that. 8.
All right, so
Damn.
that would be 2d6 plus 8.
You can do this.
Mm-hmm.
Watch her crit.
Shut up.
All right,
13.
a 13. All right, so looking around, it's a little hard to spot through all of the dust and the whatnot, but as you're looking around, you do see that there are a few stray embers just sort of drifting around and weaving their way slowly up into the air.
Peck at them, eat them, or something.
Okay, I'm gonna put him out.
Okay.
I'm putting him. Please stop talking.
Okay.
I'm putting him out.
Okay. Go ahead and make for me, just make for me a general accuracy check. No need to roll damage, just accuracy to get at them before they drift out of range.
If necessary, you can re-roll or add extra d6s with destiny.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
20.
So,
Yes.
Almost a crit.
easy enough. Rocket quickly moves around, snapping at the remaining embers as they're drifting away, and each one lets out this little pulse of black stuff with each snap, and before long, there are no embers left in the field.
With no embers, that means no fire fiend. Fingers
I've
crossed.
expressed how glad we are to have you back.
And what a badass return Rocket gets.
You
Just
ate a
smashed
fiend.
You smashed a fiend into the ground from the air.
Yeah.
And then ate it.
Pretty
Holy
badass.
shit! You did it, Rocket.
Yeah, I did. She's kind of annoying, actually. So
The voice. You don't need to do the. You don't need to do the voice, just so long as we can tell when you're talking in character.
okay. Good riddance.
You sure pick your moments to turn up.
Yeah. Been a while.
Yeah, it has. It's Mika talking.
I see you've been busy looking up at Odin and Ixion.
Odin just gives this quiet, stoic nod while Ixion jerks his head up a little more energetically. Yo.
Hi.
Guys, I don't know if these people need any introductions. Hmm.
Odin just
I
shakes
don't
his
think
head.
Ixion and Odin need introduction.
Yeah, no, you've definitely told these two about your friends during your time. Like, you kind of had to in order to get Odin to help you in the first place. Like, he was very
We've
reluctant.
met our own fair.
Yeah. Go ahead.
We've met our own fair share of divinities as of late. Oh, there's a lot we need to tell you, and I have a feeling a lot you need to tell us. Did you find what you were looking for?
For the most part, yes. I'd say we're definitely.
Whoa.
We've come a long
Oh!
way. What's that?
That is
100,000
Yeah.
gil.
that is the gill everyone gets.
I'd whistle, but I can't whistle right now.
That's
Really
a lot
rich.
of gil.
3 high ethers, we can replenish our supply.
Speaking of replenishing, I'm gonna give you some heals.
I'd say it's a safe assumption that we should probably have a rest
Yeah,
before we go anywhere.
yes, save the heals and items. You can probably do a travel rest.
Yep. Also, everyone will get 2 destiny and 50,000 gil from that as well, so that comes out to a total of 150,000 gil, and 2 destiny for everyone. Rocket, that is 3 for you.
Okay, didn't I spend 3 in that fight?
And you got 3 back.
No, actually, the meteor rain doesn't start costing destiny unless you repeat it. It's just a once a day thing otherwise.
Okay.
Cool. Lots happened for us as well. We met several of the other fiends before. They're all dead. Got all of the crystals barring the fire ones in the second of wind. Mika and I got engaged.
It's at this point, Rocket, that you see this sort of vaguely shady-looking Bonga who sort of towers over the rest of the group, sort of walking forward, sort of swathed in these blackened cloths and things, and you recognize the attire. It's in the backstory info I sent you that we can go over later, but during your travels, you wound up going to the Itzakara village and saw several burned corpses there on arrival. All of their attire matches this guy, and you had gone to them in the hopes of finding information on where any of Phoenix's feathers might be had. So this guy is one of those people you went to find, and the only living one you've met so far.
Hello.
Well, aren't you an interesting one?
I can't hear you.
You can't? Huh. Weird.
Lumina?
Like with that voice, I can't.
Okay.
I had to turn your mic up.
It's all right. All right, so as he walks forward, he looks you over. Well, aren't you an interesting one?
I could say the same to you.
Then he looks over at Nee. Friend of yours, I take it?
This is Rocket. She is a core part of our group.
The pleasure is mine then, Rocket. I am Velmarak.
Nice to meet you. I'm Rocket. I just recently returned from a long journey with Odin and Ixion trying to find the true feathers of Phoenix.
And he turns back to Odin and Ixion and gives a respectful bow of his head. I am honored. Save the pleasantries. We're not here for that.
There are more important matters at hand.
Yeah, Odin jumps down from his perch and lands with this heavy... As much as I wish we had seen the last of that creature, I somehow doubt she was foolish enough to strike at you without leaving another copy of herself somewhere else.
More
You'd
embers.
be right about that, more than likely.
Yeah, and just as a heads up, Rocket, as I mentioned to you in private before, you have crossed paths with Zaltea multiple times already. Every time it seemed as if you had defeated her, but she just turned back up again later.
We'll more than likely see her again.
If I were
So-
to guess, he then looks up at the volcano. Then I would imagine she has made herself a pretty little nest in there, somewhere.
Why would Ifrit allow her into his domain, and why was he shooting at her?
Ifrit is perhaps the least stable of us. Prime material for a manipulator like Zaltea to latch onto.
Exactly.
He manipulated Ixion in the past. He almost killed Rocket during that incident. Because of Zaltea. Latching onto some of his own concerns, which we have since smoothed over. He looks over at Ixion. Right. Yeah, of course. Shakes his head a bit and walks forward. And I don't think I need any introduction.
Yes, it's quite the display back there.
Yeah. He sort of looks away a bit with the sort of sheepish look in his eye. That bird just gives me the creeps.
Ditto.
So how did you and Rocket come together? What have we missed?
It's a long story, and we don't have time to retell it right now. It can wait.
Right. And we should still rest up for a little bit before continuing on to the Hellfire Pit. If Zaltea has set up a copy of herself, and of Ifrit there, manipulated as he might be, if she could just leave embers of herself all over the place, how are we meant to permanently kill her?
The secret to that, I
Okay.
think, lies in Ifrit. If he lies under her control or influence, then he won't be inclined to destroy her. But if he can be set free, well, it would be a trivial thing for the god of fire to snuff her out, don't you think?
Exactly.
Can't
And-
you convince him that he's being manipulated or something?
Perhaps I could, but he's walled himself off from the rest of us for a very long time. The only one he allows access is Leviathan, just to keep in touch. Otherwise, the way is shut to me.
Well, we have a handy way of summoning Leviathan when we get there.
We could always smash our way in, I guess.
If we can
That
get
could
close enough for Mika to do the summoning, she might be of help.
Looks like your travels hasn't changed you that much, Rocket.
She is emitting embers from between her feathers, it is worth pointing out.
Yeah, so what is with the whole phoenixy thing going on?
I suppose it has something to do with the phoenix feathers I've been gathering.
Yeah, another thing from the backstory info I sent you I should clue you in on, since you didn't get a chance to read it before we started. As you've been gathering the feathers, not only has your physical appearance been slowly changing as your essence gets more and more influenced by the 5 feathers in your possession, but you've also been gaining this sort of supernatural sense of where the others are. That's really started manifesting with the 4th one. So You know precisely where the last phoenix feather in the volcano is relative to your current position. You don't know the obstacles that lie between you and it, but you know its proximity and in what direction it's in.
So there's a sixth and final phoenix feather in that volcano you're after.
Mm-hmm.
And you think if you can get all of those, you can somehow pry Phoenix from Diablos?
It's not going to be that simple. We'll have to defeat him first, weaken him enough, and then appeal to her.
An interesting notion. One that
The
can
battle will not be easy, though.
These
That
things
much
never.
is certain.
These things never are. It's at this point that Mika sort of brushes past Velmarak and comes up to you, Rocket, and after a second just gives you this big hug around the neck. It's good to see you
Hi.
again.
Good to see you too.
A lot's
It's-
happened.
A lot has. And it's been a long time coming.
And I am curious, Velmarak, have you been getting anything from your crystal recently?
For the last several weeks, it's been silent, but that's not unusual. Ifrit doesn't like to communicate through it unless necessary. But somehow I get the
And-
impression that this time, it's all because of that damned bird.
And it's unlikely to choose a bearer until... Alright.
Until he's freed.
Exactly.
It's at this point that Velmarak turns to Odin and Ixion. You two said that you're not capable of entering the volcano, right? Unfortunately, that is correct. The way is barred to both me and Ixion. Trying to enter would only cause more trouble than good.
So you're gonna have to wait for us at the entrance, essentially.
Much as it pains me to say it.
And
Ixion
could we
paws at the ground in irritation. Ah, I hate sitting on
Then-
my rump.
Then might we be so bold as to make a request?
I am listening.
Back on our ship, one of our team members, Kyra, Zoltair injured her previously when it was possessing some sort of giant earthworm. We currently have Caius guarding over her, but it's at the cost of some of Thanatos' power. If you could do so until we return.
Further, this is Velmarak adding in, there is also another airship that was felled somewhere in these canyons, though I haven't been able to find out where. It has more of our allies. We would need to know of their safety. Odin gives a slow nod, then turns to Ixion. Ixion, make your way to the airship with the wounded one. I'll go find the other. Got it, boss. And without another word, Ixion turns and gallops off at high speeds and disappears into the distance. Then Odin turns back to the rest of you. A word of warning. Ifrit is, while far from the mightiest of us, perhaps the most dangerous. He doesn't know restraint in battle. If you come to blows, whether he is being influenced or otherwise, he will not show any mercy, and the raw destructive force he has at his beck and call is beyond measure. Take no unnecessary risks, exercise every precaution, and use every shield you have. You will need them all.
You got it.
Thank you.
This is essentially going to be a practice run for Diablos, isn't it? Really saying up here, ODM.
Maybe. He nods to you all. Good luck. It's in your claws now, Rocket.
Understood.
He then turns, takes a few steps off to the side before there's this beam of energy that just erupts from the ground beneath him, and he disappears into the light before disappearing completely.
Where'd he go?
Rocket, you would know that as a rainbow bridge.
Bifrost, in other words.
Pretty much. He uses it to very rapidly move from one terrestrial location to another.
It's kind of like the thing in Harry Potter.
I think it's more a direct reference to the Bifrost, since he is Odin of
Yeah.
Norse mythology.
Yeah.
Yeah. In this case, he just uses it to teleport himself from one location to another on dry land.
Alright, well, as me, I'm reloading my water arrows. I feel that we need more.
All right.
I have a feeling whenever we fight Ifrit, Blackstorm will be required.
It's important to rest tonight.
Yeah, let's rest up before continuing. No point going after Ifrit in our current state.
We'll need a full rest before doing what we need to do.
Indeed.
And
Let's
if
do
anyone
it.
has a tent, you can get a full rest. But as is, bedding down for a night will net you a travel rest, which is half of your max, which will be half of your max HP and MP restored to everyone.
So I'll be back to full.
Pretty much,
So we'll rock it.
pretty much everybody but Alistair will be back to full.
You'll
actually
also
just-
be kind of behind on the HP front there, Hades.
Well, I'd
Not
say
as much.
Alistair can fix that with potions and whatnot.
I
I
wouldn't-
would say.
I wouldn't necessarily waste the alchemy ones if it's only a little. I have 10 normal potions already, so I can share some of those out.
Either way.
Well, anything I could suggest, because we've got a few potions we need to sort out, I suppose we could do something like that, and I could charge up my magic, because we're going to need that, and anyone else that needs magic.
Let's take the travel rest first, and then we'll figure out once it's been applied.
Indeed.
That's what I meant, yes.
All right. Well then. By the way, the 3 high ethers and 3 high ethers and 5 eye drops that were dropped by the enemies. How are you distributing those amongst yourselves?
I'm taking
How-
a Aether.
Give one to Thanatos, one to Mika, one to Alistair.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Mika's adding it to her inventory. And what about the eye drops?
Split them between Mika and Alistair, being more medically inclined, particularly Mika.
All right. Mika already
listen,
has. All right. Mika already has 2 of them, so she'll take 2 and let Alistair take 3.
Right?
Yes. Because keep in mind, give me a moment, let's check in my sheet. I only used up like the 2 hyphers, if I recall. I just double check.
Indeed.
So in total, at the moment, before adding the potions, I have 6 high potions, 4 high ethers, 2 phoenix downs, 6 regular potions, and 6 ethers.
Nice.
Yep. So I'm stocked.
Nice. Alrighty then. Well, with all of that said and done, you all bed down for the night and get ready for a night of rest. The sun starts to set on the horizon before long. It was already kind of late at this point in affairs, but it's hard to tell as the sky is completely, and has been for a long time, obscured by this volcanic overshadow of ashen clouds that fill the sky. And so the previously grayish red atmosphere gives way to a deeper and deeper black until it's almost pitch dark. You can still hear the rumbling of the volcano in the distance, and the occasional crackle of thunder in the heavens as the various elements at play rub against each other and create friction, and till these reddish, fiery bolts of electricity dance among the clouds, briefly illuminating the landscape with these low, thunderous, very, very ominous. If there are any discussions anyone wishes to have during this rest, you may do so.
I imagine we're swapping stories with Rocket and filling her in exactly what's been going on.
If that is the conversation you wish to have, by all means.
Yup.
For brevity, so I don't necessarily have to explain it all. How much do you actually know what we've been doing, Luminar, out character-wise?
Lumi?
Yeah.
Yeah, Tom was asking you a question because, he wants to play catch up specifically with Rocket to, get you and her caught up on what's been going on, so.
yeah, to feel like something they'd be doing in that downtime. So just wondering like how much out of character you actually know of what we've been doing. So I don't necessarily have to explain it all.
Well, I've been gathering the feathers with Ixion and Odin, and you guys are gathering the crystals.
I will say that you, at one point, you did hear in passing as you were on your fourth feather that the Academy City had been attacked by a horde of demons not all that long ago, and it was and you heard that it was repelled in large part thanks to a group of adventurers who you very quickly realized were these guys. So you are aware that they were involved in that, but you don't know any of the specifics about what that was or why it happened.
The gist of what's happened after we left you, the first place we went was for Ramu's second lightning crystal, where we met the first fiend and discovered that they were a thing. We killed that one fairly simply. It wasn't all that interested in fighting until we denied it the crystal. From there, it was to the Numo, where we had to deal with a mute guy. We encountered the first of the air elemental crystals, which chose Ni as its bearer. Guarded by a dragon. It was kind of a friendly duel to prove our worth. We got it. We then went to the Bongan tribes, where we encountered Zoltea for the first time. She was possessing the corpse of the local leader's wife. And it was kidnapping people. We discovered it, fought it. We thought we killed Zoltea, but we didn't. Shot it with the airship a lot, and got the first fire crystal, which we left with Velmarak here.
Because it didn't resonate with anyone in the party and refused to pass from his care.
That is your crystal. From there we went down to, I think that was the Pure Oasis next, where we encountered like a big Lovecraftian beast, which kicked our ass for a little while. We managed to turn the tide and destroy it. The Pure Oasis was attacked by monsters. A lot of people died, but with the fall of the fiend, the attack was repelled, and we got the second of Leviathan's crystals. Mm-hmm. Mika had a bit of a moment during that time, but she's on the mend from Marasu, slowly. We then head up back to Vitea for the next crystal, which was the first of Shiva's, where we met the next fiend, which was called Scophenmel, who was essentially Kefka from Final Fantasy VI. Panara, Skalala, and Rania had been investigating the crystal's location when Scophenmel turned up. Skalala got kidnapped and held at ransom. We retrieved the crystal in order to bargain with him after doing another couple of tests, which we aced, much to the DM's frustration.
There were like puzzles I prepared for them that I was really proud of because I dealt thematically with ice and reflections and slipping around and refraction of light, and they solved it on their first try. They figured it out immediately. I was expecting it to take a while for them to piece it together, and they just did it immediately. I was like, God damn it.
It usually takes a while. Well, that one was alright. But yeah, so we did a fake trade for the crystal for Skalala, where we did some maneuvering to get Caius in and all this stuff. And once we had Skalala safe, that's when I hit the damage cap and threw him through a wall. Ni nearly died at the end of that encounter, but was saved by Alisa.
Come.
And we managed to destroy Scothenmel, rescued Skalala. We headed back. We had a week off to recover, during which there was some general conversation between the Ithil family and Panara. And Ni proposed to Mika, so they're now going to get married at some point.
Congratulations.
Yee.
They are very giddy about it.
Yes, they got engaged with just them, and the clouds and the bees.
Bees. By the bees, he means the stars, but that was a joke. Yeah. From there, we went to the Academy City for the second of Shiva's crystals, where Anima got inside, and we didn't kill Anima quick enough. As a result, it got off a little bit like a big ability that killed hundreds of people in the academy.
Yeah, it's just a black magic
Which
spell
Mika-
called Doomsday.
Yeah, which Mika had a bit of
Son
a
of a bitch.
heroic blue screen of death about. We also encountered Saran, who fought all of the archmages, causing Shantoto to cast Ultima in order to defeat him. But we were forced to let him go. And also, we have suspicions that Saran, judging by what he said, might actually be working against Diablo secretly. Like, well, obviously, we kind of knew.
I've always had my suspicions that he might be.
I mean, we've always thought that like he was
That he had like his own agenda.
like he had his own agenda that was still bad, like he wanted to take his place or something. We're still very much on the cards, but there is some things he said that suggest he might actually be believing, like a bit of an anti-villain, believing himself to actually be working for the good of the world to defeat Diablo by playing along. Despite how many people he killed.
His methods of doing it are not
So,
exactly innocent.
so
Exactly.
yeah. So we're kind of seeing what's going on with him. He had a bit of a conversation with the archmages about it, but Mika wasn't told about that because she hates him more than anything.
Well,
Yeah.
I can. Sorry.
No, that's fine. Go.
I can make one thing perfectly clear based on what I know.
Hmm?
This isn't the end of it. It's going to get worse and worse here on out. Lots
With-
of people are going to die. That much I'm certain.
You mean if the Diabolus' plan
Whether we're
keeps going?
here or not, people are going to die.
Yeah, like Diabolus' demons and shadow is spreading.
Exactly. He's trying to rewrite this world to be.
On the bright side, the other nations have finally started doing something about it. Taking notice.
Precisely why I've been gathering these feathers to bring her back and to hopefully repair some of the damage that this battle and his work has caused.
Revive Phoenix and prevent him from resurrecting himself as well. Speaking of,
Well,
I imagine this is part of the story you didn't mention. What was the deal with Rocket and Ixion?
To give a quick summary of that, I believe it was when I wrote it down, the third of Phoenix's feathers, they were looking for that in the gold chocobo forest way off on the west coast. And it took them days to go through all of that. And in that time, Ixion wound up confiding in Rocket that he has sort of this inferiority complex in a case of imposter syndrome, where he genuinely believes that he is not worthy to be Odin's steed, you know, and is constantly comparing himself to Sleipnir and constantly feeling like he isn't living up to that, you know, to the old guard, so to speak. And a lot of the reason why he's so chirpy and cheerful, happy-go-lucky, and cracks as many jokes as he does is it's a coping mechanism. He does it because he feels like he's letting Odin down at every turn, and that just eats him up on the inside because, you know, he's a horse. His whole thing is he's supposed to be a faithful and loyal and helpful companion, and he feels like he's not meeting those criteria well enough, or at least he did at the time. And Zaltea capitalized on that to start manipulating his emotional state and eventually effectively possessed him to try and take Rocket down in a surprise attack. It was a near thing. And after that, Ixion and Odin had a long chat, and Odin's better about things now, but he still has doubts.
Like, its relationship and opinion of Ixion is mixed, then.
Yeah, like Ixion's a good guy. He just had a moment of weakness that Zaltea was able to capitalize on to take control and do some bad shit. He's not happy about it, and he's working his tail off to try and make up for it.
Yeah. Rocket has been busy then.
Yeah.
Indeed she has.
Rocket also visited the sunken ruins of Marasu.
Oh.
Oh?
Yeah, just that's in the summary thing. I won't go into any immediate specifics in case Lumina wants to change any of these things later, because they're not finalized until she's like, yeah, that's finalized, but like, when it comes to the fourth of the feathers, like the second to last one before she came here, there was this, like, one of the feathers was in this old ruin on Marasu. And so in order to...
Oh, funny that.
yeah, and so in order to get to that one, she needed a submarine, and wound up, before going for the feather, decided to take a day or so in said submarine with the pilot to just explore the sunken ruins and see how they were holding up, and it was a pretty gruesome sight. Everything was just kind of devastated and fucked up.
Don't suppose you happen to find a floating dead Vanar in there?
There weren't any corpses.
Anymore.
Everything was just at that point.
I take it Rocket also had an encounter, one Commander Flavian. By chance?
Yeah. Yeah, that was like the first one she was sent after.
I see.
Where the first feather was in this old abandoned fortress in the east of Lapenia near the Amber Coast. She had to pick her way through this old abandoned keep on her own. Odin wasn't helping her at that point. He was simply seeing if she had the resolve to see this task through, and so to test that resolve, entrusted her to find the feather in there without any assistance from him or Ixion. And when she came back, that's when he started helping her full time.
In the game, these are dungeons that you could have already done.
Some of them.
Yeah.
Some of them. We can retcon it a bit for the video game adaptation if we need to.
That's where you got them from.
Yeah.
Busy time.
Yeah.
Raw.
With the help of Odin's Rainbow Bridge thing, she's been all over the continent in just 3 months.
Impressive.
That's convenient.
Oh, also Thanatos and Kyra kind of became a thing too.
Yep. But they're not admitting the true feelings yet until it's all over.
Yeah.
Like, which is understandable.
He is choosing not to respond to that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that about sums up both of our perspectives
More or
at
less.
this point.
So yeah.
Two crystals to go.
Mm-hmm.
And also 2 main bad guys.
Yeah, so you all talk about these long into the hours of the night, getting one another caught up on the adventures you've missed and the escapades you've gone on. There's some jokes thrown around, of course, but by and large, it's just this more chill, calm, somber affairs. You're talking amongst yourselves, and Velmarak is just sitting back and listening while not contributing to the discussion. In fact, he's taking notes in a old leather-bound book he has.
I thought he hated stories.
Maybe he does, but he's still good at it. Either way. And I believe that as that discussion goes on and eventually you all bed down for the night to get your rest, then we shall pick up there next time.
For a dungeon.
Yeah, and one of the tougher ones I've set up.
Well, where we're gonna, at the end of it, gonna be facing a god for the first time.
Oh, joy.
You're not entirely wrong that it's going to function sort of like a test run for how the Diablos fight is going to go, because Diablos is going to use the same base stat array.
But he's just gonna be a couple levels lower, I imagine.
Yeah. Ifrit is going to count as a level 12, because, his power is divided between his crystals, so he's not at max power.
Still, we're gonna need Leviathan, we're gonna need Blackstorm, we're gonna need all the Daka.
Yeah. But, yeah.
Bring on the Daka.
So, yeah. That'll do it for this session. So thank you all, ladies and gentlemen, so much for tuning in to this episode of Final Fantasy Chronicles of Eno. We will see you next time. A hearty and once again warm welcome back to Lumina to the Fold. We will see you all next time. Until then, keep listening, people. Bye-bye.
Ta-da!
Everyone.
Letters.